Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys as they get set to square off against our home team. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Certainly the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the year, the battle of the unbeatens as we get underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the first play of the game. 72 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, you've done a great job. QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
No gain on the play there, second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with...
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively a dime look, 6 DBs.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And able to find Kirk complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
All right, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll be looking to make this a two-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
They'll look to throw here. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And this will be incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On play action, they'll throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. They'll set up to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started, at the end of last season. right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
I'm looking at Jabril Peppers in the secondary, the 25th pick in the 1st round in 2017. Played in 13 games, 57 tackles and an interception. But what I like most about him, his versatility. He can play cornerback, but I think he's best at safety and a little bit of what they call nickel or dime linebacker, where he can go inside and use his tackling ability in the running game.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw here. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10, as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Here we go. Green, 39.
The give is to Elliott. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the 1st quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sport.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation in a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Shifts by him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
All right, here we go. 3, 9, 10.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 down. Here we go now. 3, 9.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
He'll drop to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They're going to look to throw. Throw for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Offside, defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all of these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up the throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Set. Green 39.
Looking to throw. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in his first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here is complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go. Green 39.
They'll drop the throw. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And now out comes Houston. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Green 39. Hot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. One that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Fighting through pressure. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Josh Lambo now for the point after. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Here we go now.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Let's go. Green 39.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
All right, here we go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. The Steelers still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we head over to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home, Ford Field. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Marcus Mariota has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. The Jags trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They're in the second quarter at Heinz Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They'll look to throw here. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense so far on third down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Fielded just inside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll set up to throw. A dump off to Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll try to run for it with Elliott. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They ended up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter. Gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The offense on 3rd down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 31.
Now let's go.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and that. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead, They did exactly that.
Now the try here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And now out comes Houston.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Gone!
They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Back now here on EA Sports, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. Play action. They'll throw. He's going to air one out. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And his guys have made this a one-score game now.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air. Because right now, we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in your broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. Complete at the 1. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Now let's go.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Four down. Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Hot blue 90.
On 3rd down, that's Bowen. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting
Here we
there.
go now.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lynch. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken the lead here in the 4th. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up. Because Frank Reich, at Maryland in college, did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways. Right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far, and he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lynch. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker.
Green 39! Green 39!
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now let's go!
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Back 99 Philly, here we go! Detroit! Detroit! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Watch 98, watch 98, 98 tonight. We in you all day, all day.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
No, check, Patriot! Here we go! Patriot! Green 39! Green 39! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll go with the keeper and able to follow his center and pick up the first. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now they try the right side here. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
They'll set up a throw. There's a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack of finding his way open and completing the connection.
Leopard! Leopard!
On 1st down, they go option to the right. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the home team here, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.